3 weeks ago, you would never see Leshrac Viper be the opening two.
Right.
And now those are just like, you can't give people those heroes because they're so powerful right now.
Yeah, there's been some interesting ones. Troll's been another one that's been banned most of the games in the initial phase as well. Last series, funny enough, he actually made it through into the last ban in like the first 2 games, and then it was picked the 3rd game. So for some reason that changed that series. But this time around it is first ban even. But yeah, the Phoenix coming out for Thunder Predator. Not the best 8 killers so far.
No, definitely not. Huge amount of magic damage. Ooh, Omni Knight. Okay, I haven't seen this guy in action competitive really, because I didn't get a whole lot of chance to watch the Star Ladder. So I'm excited to see.
Was he
in offlane?
Was he played at Star Ladder?
Yeah, I think he was played a couple times. I remember looking at a few of the games.
10 seconds.
I know he's like one of those heroes that's people think might be pretty good, but I feel like he hasn't really been played enough for people to figure it out yet.
I do play this hero a little bit, not that that means too much, but again, as far as the insight goes, I guess the W is, I think, underrated to an extent. Oh, my bad, I clicked something there. I shouldn't have. But the W, the Heavenly Grace as it's called, I think is actually better than people give it credit for, mainly because it's, one, it actually purges. I don't think a lot of people realize it. It is a dispel, a strong dispel initially when you use it, and then 2, it's 50 status resistance. That's pretty absurd. Ideally, you have it on a strength core, because then they also benefit from the added strength that you get. They don't have that in Phantom Assassin, so I would personally like to see a mid-strength hero maybe to benefit from that, but I suppose it's not like necessary either. But I do think Heavenly Grace is great, and Guardian Angel is always going to be decent as well.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty awesome pick just because the status resistance completely destroys Batrider's Lasso, completely destroys Shadow Shaman, who generally has a huge amount of lockdown, and then Heavenly Grace is amazing against Fen as well. So the only thing that Omni Knight is not so good against these days is magic damage, which Thunder Predator does have quite a bit of, but that's solvable with BKB and just itemizing correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was looking back at those Omni Knight games even, and there was one even ran in the Luna strategy. Flying Penguins did it with the Luna, and of course that idea is crazy. They had a Lifestealer core with Luna and Omni Knight,
the double strength buff, yeah.
Yeah, that's a tanky Lifestealer right there.
Hey, that's a pretty good way to get good value out of your Sven Shield too. Maybe somebody should try that out.
True. Well, Burning Bridge is their final pick coming out, though. They banned Quap. Again, one of the more obvious strength heroes that comes to mind is a Dragon Knight in the mid lane. I don't know if they necessarily want to do that. Kunkka, I suppose, is another one.
Radiant team
that could be decent. Yeah, they're not going to go either. They're going to go Shadow Fiend instead. Different direction.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing about the Heavenly Grace is, sure, it gives you extra value on a strength, but at the same time, PA and SF are heroes that tend to be fairly glass cannony and can definitely benefit from just having, a couple hundred extra HP. So I don't think it's like that bad of synergy with them anyway.
It's fair.
And the presence aura is really nice with PA. Just I think it's kind of an overlooked aspect of running Shadow Fiend is just that minus armor aura.
I mean, Gambit takes full advantage of it. They do the level 15 talent as well. Oh my god, that's a TA. Holy crap, that's a hero I've not seen in a long time.
Classic, really good against SF, and quite good against everything that Burning Bridges has other than the Earth Spirit Magnetize. So that's a pretty good pick as well. He's got 2 of his hardest counters in the Phoenix and the Batrider on his own team. And
true.
It's just known as one of those heroes that can completely dump on Shadow Fiend and lane. So Annihilate's probably going to have to... I wonder if he goes like the Sumail style and just pushes the wave out immediately with 3 raises to start the game so he doesn't have to get denied. Oh,
really? That'd be interesting. Huh. Well, yeah, we'll see what they do about that. But yeah, this is Leo style. He's an aggressive playmaker as a mid player. We've seen several heroes that he's played throughout this tournament. That's the Quap one comes to mind. I know you weren't there, but it was on the first day, I think. God, he just wrecked with that hero. It seems like it's TA could definitely fit that play style again. So it's a lot of physical damage coming out from Thunder Predator. Right? Is TA considered good against Phantom Assassin? I mean, both cores, it seems like they're not the greatest against PA.
No, they're not that great against PA necessarily, but TA does generally itemize towards a Bloodthorn and isn't as susceptible to PA's damage just because Refraction will block damage, whether it's 50 damage or 1,000 damage.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives a little bit of a counter to the PA because usually your Refraction is going to last through most of her strikes with her Blink Strike. And so should be interesting. I will say that iAnnihilate is a Shadow Fiend player if he's nothing else.
Yeah.
So this is a very specialty hero for him, like one of probably maybe his best hero overall, first or second best hero. So I'm excited to see him play this even against a bad matchup.
So you're saying he's probably played the TA matchup before?
Maybe once or twice.
Yeah. So he has his own idea as far as how he wants to deal with it for sure. Going back, there's actually.
Prepare for battle.
Are they gonna pause? PA is disconnected currently. Okay, there we go. Should be good to go. One more thing about the Omni Knight is I will say a big weakness, and one of the main reasons we don't see this hero at all is the laning phase. The hero is pretty trash when it comes to the laning phase, and it's hard to get efficient farm on him, I feel like. And I'm really curious to see how Lil levels it up, because again, like I said, I play this hero myself, and I kind of go back and forth with the W and the Q, and whether or not you get E in just certain matchups. So, intrigued to see what he does here, but point is, we'll see.
One way to get him farm is just to run him in the safe lane, where he can just kind of soak experience under tower, which is one of the biggest things Omni Knight needs, levels particularly. And then you get to run an aggro try with an Earth Spirit Chen PA, which is pretty brutal for anybody to lane against.
That's true. Thinking his W, actually, I keep saying W, but Heavenly Grace is good against Batrider. You know, like I said, the Purge that it does bring is nice to have.
Is it a Purge? Oh, it is a Destroying Dispel.
That's what I was saying. That's, again, people overlook that, I feel like. It does so much. Absolutely.
I was just thinking that it would make Lasso last for like a second instead of however long it is normally because of the status resistance. But yeah, the Strong Dispel is crazy good against Batrider.
Yeah. So that's where
shows how many times I've played that hero in the last 6 months.
Well, again, I don't think you're alone in that. But Phantom Assassin is
he's
probably dead. Yeah, he doesn't have Phantom Strike yet. He has the dagger.
Assassin.
It's one of those cases. Might have been better off waiting to level up an ability. But he ends up getting picked off. Going for the bounty rune. Did he even get it? No, it ends up being a 2 for 2 between the teams. But a first blood going the way of Thunder Predator, so of course they'll take it. And you mentioned this whole tri lane coming out, though. It's going to be Batrider versus Omni top lane, but Tri versus Tri bottom. Keep the camera down here because no doubt plenty of action to come. Chen did get Divine Favor at level 1. So no creeps just yet, although obviously no spawns even. Who would you favor in this matchup down here? It seems like I could see it going either way. It depends on the Chen creeps, I suppose.
Yeah, I think you gotta favor the PA Chen Earth Spirit lane just because the cooldowns on Phoenix are so long and he hurts himself to use the abilities, or whatever. Hurts itself to use the abilities, and like right now, it's pretty bad when he doesn't have dive up either.
Yeah. Fire Spirit's decent, but like you said, no Icarus dive means you do not want to get caught out, and that's exactly what happened. Good find there. Sven stuns in on a Phantom Assassin. Supports were rushing around, but not really going for any kind of damage necessarily, just helping with last hitting. But now Phoenix is back.
Yeah, I'd say damage advantage definitely goes the way of the Radiant lane, at least early on. But overall harassing and ability to kind of take fights and pick people off if they're out of position goes to the dire side.
All ones will break.
This top lane is rushing him back to the bottom lane. Looks like they might have been engaging, but of course, as we always talk about on Tri versus Tri lane, stick's going to be important. I see a couple being picked up here so far. Before too much more action happens at the bottom, let's take a quick glance at our mid lane, as that is the TA versus Shadow Fiend. And right now it is TA at 7-4, Shadow Fiend at 6-3. So iAnnihilate, he's managing decent. The lane
yeah, he had a bad couple of lanes, or a couple of waves, but ended up picking up Raze, and then he's fine.
Phantom Assassin 9-0, Sven 8-2, so it seems like that's trading pretty evenly. Then the top lane, somewhat of a same story too. In fact, Frank, he's now pulling the creep wave, and Lil will just tank it in front of his tower. So they're just going to simply trade last hits and let bygones be bygones, I suppose.
Yeah, not much point for Frank to just give his Omni Knight infinite stick charges and, you know, waste his mana, essentially, trying to contest him, because Omni Knight's just going to heal through everything, and he's never going to be in danger. So, maximize your farm by farming jungle camps and the wave at the same time with Firefly.
Even come over here and try to harass now. It's Batrider. Batrider's going to Firefly, try to get the last hits on these creeps. Can Omni Knight, he has Purification. Might go for some snipe in here. He's just going to simply last hit what he can. Again, he still has Heavenly Grace to purge off the sticky nade bombs, as he does right there. And there's those stick charges as well, as you mentioned, adding up. So Batrider with the Firefly running out does back off, but it's going to be the continued mind games between the two happening. Up at that top lane and middle lane, it's more raises happening and continues to be a very even CS. So I think that's kind of the theme of this game. It's just very back and forth right now. 1-1 in kills even.
Oh, no.
You know, all lanes just completely trading with each other at the moment. I think, no, Boris is still level 1. He really needs to get a couple levels on the Earth Spirit before he feels comfortable.
Ouch. Yeah.
Maybe running a gank to mid lane.
Yeah, that's not good at all. Just how is he still level 1 at 4 minutes? Holy crap. Feels like a bounty hunter or something roaming around. I can understand more, but okay, he finally hits level 2 right there. And he's going to move with Rasta, but Rasta's got the boots. He's going to pick up the Arcane Rune right in front of him, and we could have a clash continuing. Juby's coming over. Phoenix, Fire Spirits from behind. Matthew will just TP, though, realizing they have no stopper. And that's that. He TP'd back to base. So it's going to pop some regen. And bring it back in, I'm sure, but 30 seconds until those bounty runes spawn, so maybe that's where we'll see a bit more action happening between these teams.
Yeah, definitely we'll see, you know, the Shaman and the Earth Spirit maybe look to contest in particular. Although, as I say that, Shaman is smoked to the mid lane, maybe anticipating Annihilate making a move one direction or the other.
Yeah, here we go. Annihilate going bottom lane. Attune. He puts the Stormhammer in, but he's realizing in a bad spot. Warcry taking off very quickly right there. Roll on through, doesn't necessarily connect. Nice job with the wand charges. It's not enough, though, with the Raze connecting. Annihilate credit for the kill. Top lane, wrapping around on the Omni Knight. Shadow Shaman, he's got the lockdown, got his Heavenly Grace. You see right there? The status resistance, how strong it can be. And he's going to keep on running. And the Firefly is going to wear off here, and he has
fine.
a salve. He's fine. He puts a tree down.
Kind of blocked the path. Nice.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
He's super tanky.
The value of level 1 as well. 50 status resistance just from level 1, and it just stays at that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That is a huge amount of status resistance for 1 point in a spell.
Yeah. So no chance to gank him when he had that up. Nope, as Firefly back in, but just pulling the creep wave. Rasta is rotating back around the middle lane now. As we have the 6-minute mark coming up, will Rasta get a rune top? Oh, there's a haste rune. So he'll go to pick that up and maybe try to dive this Shadow Fiend. He saw him pick it up, though. He's got a ward over there, so he's fine. And he's going to rotate elsewhere, go over to the shrine, maybe jungle, bottom lane, Sven. Okay, well, they're trying to dive him. He hit a nice Stormhammer, though. And
Frank's
Frank
here.
is also here. He's got a lasso. Can he catch go of by? No, he cannot. DP's out. Omni Knight also shows up, so both offlanders joining the party. Doesn't have his GA just yet. They lose the Earth Spirit, and now the lockdown on Omni. He didn't get his heal off or the Heavenly Grace, and he can do neither. The stagger of the stuns is just too strong onto the Omni.
Yeah, we saw two main things there. Number one, we saw the contribution of an Omni Knight at the moment in terms of team fight and fighting early. He's basically just a wall. He has no stun. He has no utility at the moment. Meanwhile, Batrider is nothing but. So that, and then the Earth Spirit being incredibly under level, just evaporating. He gets locked down.
Yeah, that's an issue. He's going to come mid lane and kind of just run at TA. So he's trying to soak up some experience or what. But Boris trying to find his place right now on that Earth Spirit. As Omni's going to stick around at the bottom lane for now. Phantom Assassin did TP to the top, so Burning Bridges at least is doing a bit of a rotation this time. And I mean, Omni Knight in this case, he is feeling pretty good. Obviously, he's level 6, so he has a level advantage. Has some decent farm already. He's going to go phase boots early on. He'll be able to contest and stand his ground in this lane, for the time being at least.
Yeah, a little surprised not to see Attune mirror this PA, but I guess they want to just send the Bat Rider up against the PA to shut him down since he's so under level, only level 4 at the moment. Bat is still strong enough to really bully this PA out of lane. So they gave him a couple waves of free farm, but once the Bat gets there, PA is going to have to play very scared.
Joe to the side. Both sides going over. Roll again, going to miss, but Boris sitting up behind him.
Dyer's
Going to be able to make a play with that, though. Instead, Omni Knight would just continue to farm what he can. Even the Stormhammer coming out to try to get some jungle farm top lane. This is a last one to a Firefly. Frank, is it enough damage? No, it's not. Chen comes in, nice Divine flank. Favor. Yeah, nice job with the Phantom Strike. He blurs as well. So Frank's not sure. Okay, he comes exposed now, but he's just too far. And with a double damage Shadow Fiend showing up, you know you're in trouble. This is going to be a turn. Annihilate will gladly pick up the kill. And a great escape from Phantom Assassin. Did require some team support, though.
Yeah, I mean, we can see right there, that's why they sent the Bat back up there. Just because he can basically kill this PA anytime he wants at the moment. But not when there's an additional couple of heroes rolling in. Annihilate taking advantage of the fact that SF is one of the best junglers in the game, leaving a difficult lane and getting his farm acceleration through all these camps.
Structures are fortified.
Speaking of rolling in, not Mason, but Boris got rolled in right there, tried to roll out. Not the case. They just collapsed on him. Roster rotating, and TA simply ran him down. So the age-old question for Templar Assassin of does he go the Desolator first or the Blink Dagger first this game? Is there a route you would see either way?
Probably Deso first. It's just kind of a way to get your farm up more quickly. I feel like probably if you get the Deso first, you end up getting the Blink Dagger sooner than if you were to go Blink first and then farm for the Deso. I'm sure it's pretty comparable, but just the fact that you do so much more damage to neutrals probably helps there a little bit more than being able to move between camps faster.
All right. Keep an eye on Leo Style, also known as Draken, playing the Templar Assassin here. And in fact, he does queue up the Desolator as we're talking about that. So have our answer there. Shadow Fiend is also another curious question. Is something being delivered out? No, just wards currently.
He's got Arcane Boots queued up, or he did at the very least.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he did it initially, so possibly going for that Greaves build, which would be pretty damn good this game. Just the armor itself would be really nice from the active.
Yeah, it would be really good. You have a Omni Knight who could have gone that route himself potentially, but obviously he's already gone phase boots, so definitely not the case. And does have drums queued up now as well. Well, seems like a very popular item for him. Likes the choice of drums. I'm sure Phantom Assassin, yep, we see the Battle Fury queued up.
Gotta compete with the Sven and TA. I think it's basically impossible to scale with them unless you go Battle Fury this game, just because both Sven and TA have their own farming mechanics.
What do you think of Sven going the Midas? He has that queued up currently. Chooses to commit to that. Attune, a greedy player at times.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, I know it's something that I've seen a number of times. It does a lot of good things for Sven in addition to the acceleration towards his really, really good upper level talents. It gives him a bunch of attack speed, which this hero desperately needs. Allows you to avoid getting something like an Echo Saber or Mask of Madness. Mask of Madness in particular is pretty terrible this game just because it takes away your armor, and you're playing against two very high physical damage heroes who also take away your armor generally. So you kind of don't want to be using that in fights, and so you need some other form of attack speed to do more damage.
Okay. Well, he's got it queued up. Again, still just the beginnings of it, so we'll see if he stays for it or not. We have 5 more minutes of pause remaining. So this time it's I Annihilate. Waiting for him to reconnect. Yeah, we've had a fun 3 days of Dota here. It's been 3 different regions, Southeast Asia, then Europe/CIS, and now the Americas. To wrap it all up, and like we were talking about at the beginning, we got Dream League starting in 9.5 hours now, essentially. That'll be taking place over there, the major. So, yeah, the format of the event, I was double checking that. So it is GSL into double elimination, right? Yeah. And then best of one lower bracket first round matches. So every team does advance on, but then you can play in a best of one if you're bottom 2. All right. Don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that anymore with major tournaments. I still want to see another Swiss event, man. We got to see it once.
Yeah, me too.
And that was it. And it did pretty well. Like, I thought the reaction was good and people liked it, but never again.
Yeah. I just really like that format. It's cool. it gives a whole different kind of vibe to the group stage.
You don't know 100% who you're going to be playing in the following rounds, which is kind of cool in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a podcast, okay, but we got a game to cast here. But yeah, I could talk about that for a while. All right, coming out of the pause though. Templar, she's clearing out a stack that was either given for her or did herself. Bounty runes. And an assassin picks this one up top, and looks like they do get 3 of them, so 3 for 1, favoring Burning Bridges. And Guardian Greaves is now queued up for Shadow Fiend, so yeah, we do have confirmation there. That's where he's interested in going. So it's going to be a nice point hit here. You know, once he has those, the drums on Omni Knight. They should be able to start pushing around, buy space for the Phantom Assassin, and then let her eventually come online is the game plan, I'm sure, for Burning Bridges.
Yeah, both teams kind of have that early power spike with this very potentially late game oriented hero. I think we're seeing this a lot more and more where the mid player tends to be this extreme tempo setter, and both SF and TA come online truly around the same time. So I think we will start seeing quite a few clashes here around these outer towers as one team tries to get some map control advantage to take advantage of their farming carry.
Bottom lane, Phoenix does have Supernova. Lasso also ready for Bat Rider, trying to wait to use it. Goes for the Omni Knight. Here we go. Lasso is up, but Heavenly Grace coming out after the fact. Is it enough of a heal? For now it is. Are you kidding me? The trap slow, but oh, it's not enough to nice Sideblade attack. That was a great placement from Leo Style. Took advantage.
That one creep following the Omni Knight through the trees did him in.
Yeah, it wasn't for that. He actually does get away. And the heal was also like 1 second from coming off cooldown too, so everything just worked out there. I mean, they did kill Omni Knight, and now they're going to push out the bottom lane with this, so ends up being a pretty good engagement for Thunder Predator.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Two. Getting some farm top.
Yep, definitely going the hand of Midas. You see now. Gloves picked up. Bottom lane, TP in from Omni. Only level 1 Degenara. Not able to slow him enough.
10% is pretty nothing, so definitely needs more levels than that before he can really chase people down.
Bottom tower has been denied.
Yeah, I knew it was weak, but didn't realize 10%. But with the phase boots and even going the drums now,
top tower is
even the 1
attack.
point could still be decent. But yeah, you see leveling that up. I mean, 34% at level 4 is actually pretty absurd, considering it's just always on and around him.
Yep.
So if he's hugging you,
minus 2 boots, basically.
Yeah.
Steals your shoes.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Double damage rune going to be protected by Rasta. Batrider actually coming to, okay, he has a bottle, so we'll take it there. Batrider with his own drums. We've been seeing a lot of the drums bots build on Batriders, but Frank, no intentions of going bots, at least from his queue. He wants to get the Blink Dagger next.
Dire's top tower
the jump, and then even a Rod of Atos he's thinking about.
All right, cool. I haven't seen the Atos on Bat in quite a while, but something that we've seen from time to time. Just the extra tankiness build up from the crown's super nice. Crowns are the new thing.
Yeah. Still kind of weird seeing that item. Getting used to it. Bottom, Phoenix. Okay, not going to go. They're setting up, booting the dagger, but already backing off, so no point to go further. 2,000 gold saved up a Phantom Assassin. She is farming away. Sven does get his Hand of Midas delivered. It's been off cooldown for like 5 seconds at least. Jeez. Okay, finally gets to use it.
But you can see that attack speed that it gives him. I mean, this is a guy who pretty much just needs attack speed as a hero. He's got basically everything else. He needs gap close and attack speed. It solves most of his problems.
Yeah, he has the maxed out Great Cleave as well. Being that position 1 Sven. So he is able to do these stacks, and that's where the core duo is a little awkward, I guess. You have 2 cores that actually love taking stacks. So it's both, I guess, good and bad in a sense, but it's just interesting. Again, you usually don't see 2 cores on the same team like that are wanting to cleave down these big stacks.
Yeah, that's true. At the same time, if you have one, doing very well, they can push out the lanes. The other one can take all the stacks. So you can, I mean, both of them are extremely good wave clearers as well. So you kind of get the best of both worlds if you're having a decent game.
They're setting up for these 15-minute bounty runes. Templar Trap goes down. Frank's running in. Doesn't have the blink yet. Does have a pushback, though. And oh my god, Chen was there. Just evaporated, though. And all the bounty runes going the way of Thunder Predator. Well played on their part, but you see them rolling in. Boris missing the stun initially. TP play. It's actually going to work. Oh, wow. It actually looked like it was for a second, but unable to get away in time. The damage is enough. Phoenix, Sunray. More so not Sunray, Supernova. It goes off. He has Sunray, but not using it. He's running away. That's the point. Omni Knight's still chasing, though. Yeah,
it looks like they want to fight. Just assert their dominance in this area, feeling like they're just much stronger as a team right now. Latune has been showing top. They know he doesn't have any fighting items and probably won't really be showing up for a fight for quite some time.
We do see the recall use right there. He recalls Phantom Assassin top and lets her farm it. Something we are noticing, though, Lockdown is pretty weak on Burning Bridge's side right now.
Yep.
They are relying on Earth Spirit hitting these rolls, and it's not the easiest at times. In fact, he's going to be jumped himself. Gotcha. There's that Heavenly Grace coming out, though. Guardian Angel also, and suddenly the Radiant team has to now fall back for now. Matthew, he is dead as a result. Attune could go back in. Heavenly Grace has worn off. But keeping his distance. And that's power of Omni Knight for you, though. He could definitely turn initiations like that. However, he's too far in the front lines this time. And when he's the one gone on, he can't do a damn thing about it. They take out Chen as well, and they want more. They're likely going to get more as Sven's still charging in. Hammer in 2 more seconds. Yeah, they're just sticky everywhere. And the block on the roll from Frank. I annihilate. He's the focus with the cores, though. He goes down. That's a 3-kill streak stopper on him, and then Frank will chase down Boris to take him out. So as pretty of that start was with the Omni Knight response and everything, he kind of just went like, okay, I'm unkillable, and he clearly wasn't.
Yeah, positioning was pretty suspect from Lil. The Heavenly Grace, the Guardian Angel can kind of make you feel like a god, since especially against Thunder Predator, just because both their cores do 0 damage for 6 seconds. But just found himself way out of position, and he is really not very farmed at all, so not tanky either.
It's taken out. Maybe that's going to be a eye-opener for him to realize he needs to play a little bit safer. And as the game develops, of course, with bigger items on Phantom Assassin, you can let her kind of dive in and really have yourself sit back on Omni Knight. In fact, that's why you'll even see eventually like Aether Lands, Blink Daggers, things like that, where they literally just sit back and then jump in when they need to throw the support utility out. But for now, he's building heavy auras. Wouldn't mind standing in the front lines, but look at this Roshan attempt. They're committing the wards even from Shadow Shaman.
And God Strength, they've got everything going. I don't even think that they would lose a fight if all of Dire did show up to try and contest.
Oh, Frank, he actually has a Rod of Atos, so he goes that over the blink first. Unfortunately for him, though, Boris rolled away before. That's where the blink would have been better, but yeah, likes the rod.
Definitely a better fighting item overall, just because it's such a low cooldown, low commitment form of initiation. And to be honest, you probably want to try and bait out the Heavenly Grace with that before you use your lasso anyway.
Oh, good point, yeah.
Or follow up your lasso with an Atos afterwards or something like that. If the Heavenly Grace does come out.
Tower is under attack.
Phantom Assassin does have Battle Fury pushing out bottom.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, Rod of Atos, it seems like, is stepping up a little bit for popularity in general. We saw Quap earlier in this event pick it up, actually.
Really? Yeah, I mean,
it's
it's incredibly strong. Ever since they made it cancel TPs, it's just like one of the best items in the game.
Omni Knight's caught. They're trying to save him for now. The lasso is up on him. No Heavenly Grace yet, but he's going to stay alive. The Hand of God. There's the heals and the Guardian Angel. So everyone's still alive for the time being, but Annihilate, he's in a bad spot. He got hit by the Supernova. The stun, he's locked down completely. They cannot save him. They want to keep running, but TA knows this. And the rest of Thunder Predator in pursuit. Attune. Can he catch up with the Stormhammer? Maybe with the slow? No, the Heavenly Grace, too much to handle. Omni Knight's going to be fine. So that huge clash only results in the 1 kill on Shadow Fiend, but it was a good one for Thunder Predator once again. And they just got the top tier 2 tower before that. So more momentum, 7,000 net worth lead, their biggest yet.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it looks like Thunder Predator is a bit more of a well-oiled machine than Burning Bridges, aka Raw. Like their team fighting is just, it's pretty on point. The Supernova placement, extremely good. The lasso, waiting until the team had really kind of gathered around to take advantage of that, and they chained their abilities in a very coordinated way.
Yeah, throughout this event, they have been pretty impressive. Again, both their series, first one, did it actually go? Yeah, they did end up going 3 games against Zolotl as well. Remember that was the first game they dropped to Zolotl, but then game 2 and 3 they just wrecked them. And even though it went 2-1 against this very team yesterday, in the games they won, the same case of they just played very well and ran them over, it seemed like. So you know, this is a team that definitely can turn it on. Of course, they've even been to a major, the most recent one themselves, so they do have experience. As that was a pick on Phantom Assassin, by the way. I was rambling on there.
Solo kill.
Is that a solo, really? Okay.
Yep. Solo kill with Bat. He just Atos, walked up, lasso, PA had nothing to blink to, and just very weak hero still at the moment.
Yep. Needs a BKB to have any chance to deal with that, and not close to it yet. She finishes her Yasha. Wants to go SNY, it looks like. First. Interesting choice there. Yeah, but with an Omni Knight?
100%. Going for the 100% stats resistance, the meme.
I guess that's where you can argue BKB, maybe not as important either, but I don't know. It seems interesting. Shadow Fiend. Okay. Well, there's a Heavenly Grace. Again, he's able to tank all that.
I seriously wonder if he just goes S and Y into Satanic.
Oh, yeah? That would be crazy, actually. Like, a stun would literally do nothing at that point, it feels like.
Yeah, you end up just basically immediately coming out of it.
Top tower is under attack.
Obviously, we're talking about with Heavenly Grace as well.
No
Yeah. Annihilate, once again, going to get that. But the tower's still dead. I mean,
has fallen.
they were there kind of defending, not really. So they just almost watched the tower fall. I suppose Phantom Assassin was the only one not there, and she's farming in the jungle, so as long as that's happening, definitely a positive. Okay, now she actually has the BKB queued up. So she is changing her mind there. As I was saying earlier, you know, whether or not it was necessary, you know, it doesn't have repel anymore on Omni Knight, so of course there is a better argument for it. Is he caught? Oh.
Gonna try and what?
Nope. He was hoping. Meanwhile, middle lane, they're gonna engage over here. This is a 5 versus 3. Well, you do have Batrider making its way over, but Guardian Angel even popped. They're going to kill Phoenix. Can they kill it too? And that's the big one. They're going to get him for sure. TA's another one. Boris almost dies, yet the side blade attack is enough, so she does plenty of damage. She has an MKB. Holy crap. Didn't even realize that. Hand of God, they're going to keep Omni Knight alive, and indeed will die. Scoutfight gets the kill, double kill for him. Yeah, Rasta up there trying to randomly catch the PA. Doesn't happen, and then there's just a good capitalize for Burning Bridges, though. They saw what was happening.
Yeah, it's a big mistake by Thunder Predator to not disengage from that side of the map if they're going to allow one of their heroes to split off and show. As soon as Matthew showed top, Burning Bridges was like, all right, this is our moment, guys.
Yeah.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Absolutely was. And now Bat Rider, though, he does have a Blink Dagger, so he's got his nice core of items. Might come into play mid lane. Remember, without lassoing Omni Knight, though, it's not a guarantee. There is, as I say that, they shackle him up. And the Hex into a lasso. Divine Favors applied. There's a Heavily Grace, though, and he's just a tank. He's,
for now.
For now. I mean, he's still alive, but yeah, he's going to eventually die. Sunray is pretty good.
No regard for a night.
More than enough damage.
Team.
Roshan's still a while before he would be up, but yeah, they do pick off Omni, though, as he was sticking around still just enough, and he's out for 30 more seconds, so why not push back and go for the tier 2 mid? So a disastrous fight initially for Thunder Predator, but it's going to end up not being the biggest deal, it seems like.
It was another tower for free,
Dire's
though.
middle tower has fallen.
But as long as PA is farming, things are not as bad as they could be.
Yeah, as we mentioned in the previous fight, she had the MKB purchased even, so her farm is very good. Very fragile build, though, and we do see that being addressed with the BKB next. She's planning to go.
There's going to be a smoke play to the top lane, it looks like.
Ooh.
Trying to catch the TA.
Blinks on cooldown for 2 more seconds. It doesn't matter, though. She's too far. Unable to get her pushed up. Shadow Fiend trying to finish a Manta style, meanwhile. On top of the Guardian Greaves that he has, but PA over here now is going to be able to right-click a BKB soon.
Check out this ward in front of Roche. I've never seen that place before.
Huh. It's actually, yeah, that is interesting.
I mean, it does just, I mean,
it
dispels all TA traps, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's like specifically against TA, gets the Roche Pit and the Rune Ward, or Rune Trap.
It's like just on the limit, too, where they can place it.
Mm-hmm.
Recall in a Phantom Assassin top lane. This is a tier 1 tower that they're still scared to take. You see, they thought about it, but then something caught their attention. I guess no one's on the map, so that probably has something to do with it. And they're going to simply fall back. They feel like maybe there's a smoke coming in or something, so they spread out. PA goes back bottom. BKB just delivered to Sven, meanwhile. So with that happening and TA almost having hers finished, I mean, Phantom Assassin does have hers too, but it seems like with the 2 cores on the Radiant side having it, Thunder Predator is going to be a bit more cozy to fight.
Yeah, although damage edge definitely goes to PA between her and the Sven. Attune with the Vlads. Well, it is good with the God Strength just because it works off of the strength for the damage bonus, but I think PA just does more damage and probably wins a man fight between the 2 of them at the moment.
Potentially. Sven, he's running in. God Strength, here we go. Frank's the one they want to initiate on. The Rod of Atos locking down Shadow Fiend initially, but now he's able to walk around. BKB activated on a PA. Shadow Fiend locked down completely, though, and he's going to be taken out for 50 seconds. The BKB on Sven, he's running around doing plenty of damage. However, with the Guardian Angel, that changes. BKB now activated by Leo style, but Attune, his run off. The Magnetize still ticking down, but Drake into the midst of it. Yeah, the stun with a Supernova doing so much. Sets up a triple kill for Leo style, and Chen, well, he was the last man standing. Let's make it an ultra kill, he says. And guess who's up? It's Roshan, tier 2. That's going to be an easy one.
Yeah, the lockdown differential between these 2 teams is insane right now. You could just, like, PA got stunned by Supernova, then got Atos, then got knocked back with Flame Break. Basically couldn't move for like 8 seconds after the BKB went down.
Yeah, I know we got Guardian Angel off, but I'm pretty sure Heavenly Grace was not used on Shadow Fiend at least. I'm sure it was maybe used on PA. But either way, it did not remotely matter. And that's a free Aegis again for Templar Assassin now.
It kind of feels like this Omni-Knight is basically just like a pause button on the inevitable in these fights. Yeah. Like, these fights are not going well. He presses Guardian Angel. They do fine. They like don't die immediately, and then once it's over, they just melt to this TA.
He's always kind of been like that. That's his. He is the counter initiator. Like, that's one of his bigger strengths. That's always been the case. But, you know, he doesn't have that magic immunity anymore, I guess, which was the biggest thing, to be fair. And yes, status resistance is nice, but even with how much Heavenly Grace does, I still don't think you can compare it to a Repel and what that brought to the table. Essentially a free 4,000 gold worth item.
Yep, definitely. And, I mean, I guess maybe we are seeing why Omni-Knight is meh.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Trust me, I want to see this hero work, and I do ultimately think, though, you need to have a strength core. Like, that's the only way I could see it remotely being worth it, to benefit from the strength that's applied, the 28 bonus strength that you're getting as a result of that. So, either way, Thunder Predator playing it very well here.
He just doesn't seem like the same kind of aura carrier as a lot of the other ones, because he just doesn't offer anything, like, in terms of control.
Yeah.
At least with the aura heroes, you can still stun people and do useful stuff in fights.
Chen was just chilling here as his teammates are farming right next to him, and Leo Style's like, oh, hey, 2-shot.
Disrespectful from Leo Style.
Absolutely. And he's laughing it off, as he should be. Going top lane. Oh, Phantom Assassin's already falling back. He is going to try to go back and finish the SNY after the BKB's been purchased. Still wants that, but you just see the control of the map right now. One team's in their base, the other team's just farming throughout the whole jungle. They are going to make a play bottom, or at least move that direction. I guess just to counter push it.
Yeah, it's all under vision, though. The whole area of the map is warded. Pretty much the entire dire side of the map is under vision at the moment.
And that's the perfect target to catch for Batrider. So he's dead. He does have a buyback. We'll probably see that come out here if they choose to push.
Middle tower is under
So that's what TA's doing middle lane already. Monster Wars committed bottom, so there's the buyback from Lil, and Thunder Predator retreating for now. Thinking about it at least.
All ones will break.
Yeah, they'll play it somewhat safe. They got the buyback already. Not going to go uphill just yet. I mean, they do have an Aegis and Cheese, so they definitely could. They give the Aegis to TA, by the way, instead of Sven.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Sven is a hero that is technically a transformation hero, which are always weaker with Aegis.
Okay, the God Strength, yeah. Over here, Atos catches Earth Spirit. And now they're running in, protecting.
God, they just have no catch.
Yeah, their stuns are horrible. They really don't. It's just the roll and a creep from Chen, but I don't even know if I've really seen many creeps, frankly. Anyway, Shadow Fiend's caught. Yeah, they have plenty of catch. The lasso dragging him on forever. He survives. There's a Guardian Angel. After the use of the Guardian Greaves, and the Requiem now coming out. So damage reduction on TA at least, but BKB from a 2 in the cleave auto attack. Still nobody dead though. Some way, somehow, Annihilate's going to survive for the time being. However, he will finally be run down by the TA. Omni-Knight was picked off for the dieback. And TA's just going ham. They cannot stop Leo Style. Oh, the jump into the Stormhammer stun. Get the Rampage before it's over. Let him get it. Yes. No, dude! You ruined everything.
He's kicked, for sure. He's kicked from the team.
Thunder Predators gonna need a stand-in for game number 2.
Yep.
No, that was, again, a great performance. Looking fluid. I mean, the Omni-Knight, yeah, I want to see this hero work, trust me. I consider it my favorite really of all time, but right now it just doesn't seem like there's a place maybe outside of a strength core. Landing phase actually went pretty well in the Batrider matchup. It is a good hero against that on paper, but I think you put it so well with the whole, it's kind of just that reset button that maybe that was the biggest issue, if anything. The lack of lockdown, I think, was the bigger thing that showed for Burning Bridges.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw it right there at the very end. Like, they're kind of standing in threat range, or they would be if they had any way to reposition somebody or just like catch somebody out of position. But they basically had to wait for Thunder Predator to go on them to actually take a fight. And if you're always the one being initiated on, you're just always going to be at a disadvantage in fights.
Oh, Thunder Predator up 1-0. But again, guys, this is a best out of 5 here for the finals, the American region. So game number 2 going to be coming up. No matter what, at least 2 more games. But we'll see what happens with Burning Bridges. Looking to make a response here in that game number 2. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by Elevated here. The grand finals for the American region out of the BTS Spring Cup continues next. Stay tuned.